Welcome back. So in our Selenium with Java series, we were looking into the TestNG features, right? So we have already seen how you can deal with the TestNG reporting, and then couple of things about how you can generate the HTML report, and also how you can identify if it is failing, what is the fail scenario or the fail exception. For skipping, what is the skip exception, and some kind of customization into the console output as well. So today we are going to see how we can even change or customize the report itself. Means we can send some kind of logs to our HTML report. So before we were just seeing the default report that the TestNG is generating, right? But today I'm going to show you guys how you can utilize the TestNG to even update or note all your steps that the individual logs also you can send to the your HTML report. And also I will be showing you how I can utilize the same reporting mechanism to even take a screenshot and attach to your HTML report, so that you might not be needed a third-party library like the extend report or some other reporting or LU report also we have, right? So how you can deal with that. Fine, so let's get started. So for TestNG, there is a reporter. You can see this reporter is a class or it's an API that is provided by your TestNG, and which gives you an option to note the logs or to capture the logs of whatever you are sending from your framework. Okay, so you just need to do one thing. You have to say reporter, that is the class which is coming from org.testng package, and then you have to use the .log. So reporter.log, and any of the message that you want to send, you can send it inside this. That simple as it is. Once you do that, now this is like your the HTML report generated by your TestNG. Either it is emailable report or your index.html. Any one of these report you can see, and you can get the report as here. So you can see reporter.log, whatever message you are sending, you can see the same thing inside this actually. Okay, so that is what I'm going to show, but we won't be limited just to keep this reporter log. I will be showing you what are the different benefits of this reporter log you can utilize to customize your HTML report. So let's get started. So let me show you even the documentation as well. So if you go to this documentation, you can see it is coming from the org.testng package. Let me show you what that reporter class has different methods. So you can see here, you can see log. Now this log is a overloaded method, because you can see there are multiple methods with the same name. But what is the difference? You can see into the parameter. So one, you can send directly the string, which I just shown you guys. Another one, with the string, see, whenever you are sending this string right to this log, it will be printing to your HTML report, but it won't be printing to your console output. Now for this, again, you need to use the system.out.println, right? Which I don't want. Like, you have to keep again one log for your console, another log again for your HTML report. Why can't we use this reporter.log to capture the logs or the messages into your console output and also into your HTML report? That is what we are going to see. Now if you see here, you just need to do one more variable, one more parameter you need to add. So that is nothing but your log to standard output. So this is a boolean variable. So if you just send the message with a true, then it will be printing the log messages into your console and also to the HTML report. It is that simple. Then there is another method that I will be using, that is a set current test result. And this one I will be showing you when you want to use the TestNG listener or with your TestNG annotations. So we will be seeing these two methods by using reporter. So okay, let me just go back to my sample code. So for time saving, I have created a couple of code base which we already discussed. So these are very simple. Let me quickly explain you guys. So I have created a reporter.log package, reporter log package. Under that, I have created the actual Selenium test. Here you can see I have two different test methods are there. One is like a pass test method, another is the fail test method. I didn't want to take the simple TestNG where system.out.println. So I'm talking in terms of Selenium here, but yeah, it's not limited to Selenium. You can write anything inside this. Okay. So you can see it is simply driver. Now you might be asking from where this driver object is coming. So what I did, because these are multiple test methods, right? So I didn't want to initialize the driver at the test case level. I have created a base test which is like a framework standard. So you have to practice this one as well. So inside this, actually what I'm going to do here, I've created a before class which we already understood about this, right? Simply 3 lines of code I have written which is helping you launching your empty browser. That is all it is doing. Now you might be asking how this driver object is distributed to this one, because of this extend keyword. Because I'm extending, all the base test variables and methods will be accessible to this child class here. Simple concept, simple Java concept, I would say. Now this is a pass scenario. Here I am by knowingly making it as a fail, assert.fail. Okay, so now what we are going to do? Now if you see here in this Selenium test, I have kept reporter.log already here. Okay, just to show you guys how it is. And you can see I'm not using any system.out.println. First, as simple as this, let's try to execute this Selenium test and see what is the output. Then I will be showing by using the reporter log in everywhere. Okay. So let me do first thing. Whenever you are running any test case and you are going to see your HTML report, I would suggest you have to go to the edit configuration, whether it is your Eclipse or IntelliJ, because the HTML report will not be generated until you do this manual step. There is no automatic way of doing this. So you have to go to the edit configuration, go to the listeners, scroll down, and you have to check this check mark, use default reporter. Then the HTML report, whether it is emailable or index.html file, it will be generated inside your test-output folder so that you can verify the details. Click on apply. Okay, that's it. You just need to do this one. So let me execute this one. So first test case, then it is going to the second test case and failing my test case. You can see one got passed and one got failed. Now you can see driver.getTitle, that is not printing here. See, nowhere it is printing. The reason is I have to give another parameter, right? That is true log to the output standard, which I've shown into the documentation. But at this moment, let me show you how exactly the report is generating. So as I told, because I have done the configuration into the edit configuration, I should be seeing under my test-output folder. If I go to this as emailable report, never open directly from here. Okay, what you need to do, you need to go to the test output, right click, open it in your Finder or in your Windows Explorer. Okay, under this you have to come back here, test output folder. Now here you have a emailable report HTML and index HTML. Let me first click on this one, and as you can see here, you can see it is printing the message here and also here. So this is my pass scenario, this is my fail scenario. So you can see, though it didn't print into my console, but it printed into this actually. So under messages section, anything on the reporter.log you're printing here, everything will be printed into your messages section. That's how you will be dealing with that. Let me show you even the index.html as well. So let me double click this one, and as you can see, it's not printing here. What is the problem? The thing is that here you need to click on this reporter output. Here you can see this is my first test case, this is my second test case. Okay, so all the steps that you are logging it to your HTML report, everything will be coming under this link. Okay, now let's do one thing actually, but here one more thing you observe, it's not printing to my console, right? What I need to do, as simple as that, you need to just make it as true. That's it. You just need to add another parameter here as true. Now whatever you will be now executing or sending into this test case as a log, now it will be printing in both ways, into your console and also into your HTML report. And let's wait for these two test cases to finish. Okay, and if I go to this, you should be seeing, you can see these two reports, it is printed into your console as well. So the reason why I said that you need to have another parameter, because you don't need to use the system.out.println. With this one line of code, you can send the logs to your console and also to your HTML report. Now this is all about inside the test case, right? Here inside the test case you are mentioning everything, which is very straightforward. But what if I am using, if I want to print it inside this base test? So let me go inside this. You can see I have captured here reporter.log empty browser launched. That is not coming into our, into this log, right? So if you see inside this, nowhere it printed. Let me even show you here as well. So I have created another test method, that is, so it's a after method, and we know the concept of after method, right? This will be printing after every test case it is executed. So I have two test methods, so this after method will be executing 2 times. Now here I'm making the method as failure setup. The reason is that I don't want to print the logs always, actually, I mean this specific logs. I want to utilize this method when my test cases are failing. Now how do I make sure that my test cases are failing? There has to be some mechanism, right? So what I'm going to do, for this reason, you can observe here I have created one parameter here. So it's a default, actually. You can utilize the iTestResult as a as a overloaded method here. So you don't need to do any setup. You just need to use this this particular variable. Now by using this result variable, I can say that if this test case is failing, so in this case what I'm going to do, if result dot, I will say get status, oops, not here, sorry. So I will be coming down, result dot get status. You can see now what is this get status. Let's get into this code. Now inside this you will see this is actually basically returning the status of your result, means the test case. Each test case, whether it is failed or passed, by using this get status method you can come to know. Because see, at runtime you don't know, right, whether the test case can fail or pass, but you have to put a if condition. If that particular test case is failing, how do you know? You can see this is your way to go to see actually whether your test case is passing or failing. So if you get the get status will return an integer, right? If it is returning 2, then it means that it's a failure. If it is returning 3, then it's a skip scenario. If it is returning success, then it is 1. So can I utilize the same thing into this base test? I will say get status equal to if it is 2. You can even say that if my test case is skipping, so that time you can put another and condition, result dot get status equal to 2 or result dot get status equal to 3. Okay, in both these scenarios you can do. At this moment I'm just making a failed scenario. So here failed scenario, I'm just making if the test case is failing, then only you do this one. Now let's say that I need to print the log here. So reporter.log, and I will say, now let's try to run this one. Okay, both the test cases ran, and as I am expecting, these two things came. What I'm going to see here now, I have to see the logs now. So for this, actually, let me just get that log here, right? Now let's refresh this one and go to the reporter output. You see, it's not printing. Now let's come back to this one and refresh it. That log messages are not coming. If you see here, this particular after method, whatever I have kept it, right? Reporter.log, this is failed log from reporter log, that is not printing. Why is it not printing? We are missing one statement here. So what you need to do, you need to set that reporter.log, and inside this, instead of log, you will say set current test result, because you are saying the reporter log to use this result log here. Okay, when you set this one, see, only test case when you are running, you don't need to set that current test result, because this test case is running currently, so you don't need to set up this one. But for here, if you see, these are all before or after, right? Not exactly during the execution of the test case. That is why you need to set this particular statement, actually. So when you do this one, all the logs, so when you do this, all the logs inside this method will be logged to your HTML report. That is all you need to do. And let me even make it as true so that it will print to the console output as well. Now the same thing, let me even do it here as well, so that this log will be printing. Now let me save it. The reason is that here I can even do this one. Now the problem is here, it won't be working actually in this case, because before class don't have a result actually here. So when you execute this one also, it will throw you error. So that is why I am not going to do anything. So as I have seen with my experiment, all the reporter logs you can print it only after your test execution, means during the test execution and after the test executed, the reporter.log will be applicable. So it means that if you're using this reporter log in your before method, before shoot or before class, it won't be working actually. The concept of this log is that during the test execution or after the test execution. Okay, you can even give it a try by using this reporter log inside your before method, before shoot, before class, before test. It won't be working. In real time, let's say that you are executing 200 of your test cases. Now in that case, you want to take the screenshot when your test cases are failing. Now in that case, this particular statement is helpful. Irrespective of how many test cases you are executing, just extend this base test. That's it. You don't need to do. See, did I do any change into my test case level? Not really. Into the base test only I'm doing. And this is your first principle of your building a framework, right? Write once and utilize many times. That is what I'm doing here. Now here what I am going to do, I will be writing a logic first to create an screenshot actually. That's the first thing, right? Because when your test case is failing, I want to take a screenshot and then attach it to the HTML report. That is what I'm going to do by using reporter. See, we know already how do you create the screenshot, right? That is, we already understood in our previous sessions. So I'm just directly copy pasting this one. Now here you need one thing. What is this image? This is nothing but when you take a screenshot, Selenium WebDriver need a path, right, where it is to save that particular screenshot which is taking. So for this I'm creating a image path actually. So here, let me keep it here. Let me make you understand what I'm doing. So I'm taking a file object, which is new file. I'm creating a file object. Here system.getProperty, user.directory. What it is doing? It is simple as that it is giving you the path of your project. Okay, from your C drive or from your user folder if you are using Mac. Okay, so this is your project folder. Plus means I'm appending. And I'm giving a name to my screenshot. See, I said, right, if you are executing 50 test cases, let's say that 3 times your test cases, 3 test cases failed. If I don't give my screenshot as a dynamic name, then it will be overridden, right? So the last test case which is failed, that screenshot only will retain here. That is why every time your test case is failing, I am creating a new screenshot file. And that is where I'm utilizing again the result variable or the object to create the name of my screenshot. So when I'm saying result.getMethod.getMethod name, this is nothing but this particular method. So each test case, if it is failing, one screenshot it will generate, right? So that is how I'm making it as dynamic .png. So this is nothing but, don't get confused. This whole line is just creating a dynamic path for each of your test case if it is failing. So my file path is ready. Normally whenever you are practicing the screenshot, you just give a hard-coded value, right? Instead of that, I'm making it as dynamic. Now how do I attach this one? So for attaching, what I'm going to do, I will be using the reporter log now. So reporter.log. So inside this, how will I attach? So here I will be using the HTML markup language. So that HTML markup language, I will be utilizing edge string inside this because it's an HTML report, right? So inside HTML, I will be putting as a HTML only. So that HTML, I will be taking as a string wise. So what I'm going to do here, so you have to do like this. First, I will be creating a link actually, ahref equal to. Now, what is this ahref? This is a tag, right? A is a tag name, which is a link. So first I will be creating a link. Now what this link has to be? If I click on this link, where it should redirect? It should redirect to my path of that particular screenshot, right? So I will say image.getAbsolutePath. Okay, and then I'm appending that. See, it's a dynamic I'm doing here. So after this I will be printing like this. Now after this I will be closing this A. This is not A tag, this is just partially A tag. Under this, so this is just creating a link actually inside that. If I click on this link, what it has to be, it should be an image link, right? So here what I'm going to do, again I will say image and then source, sorry, src. This is again a HTML only, okay? So I'm giving again the same way. What here I'm going to do, image dot get absolute path, okay? And now here what I'm going to do, I will be keeping like this, and here you need to give a plus again because it is a string always. Now when I do this one, you know what will happen, this will be like a big image will be attaching to your HTML report. I don't want to do that. So there is an attribute in HTML, right? HEI height equal to, I will make it as 200. You can give any height, and then width equal to, again give it as a 200, so that a squared image will be coming here. Now you now close the this image tag. After that I will be closing the A tag, as simple as that. Now this is my end string tag, string and then semicolon. That's it, you just need to do. So this is holding two parts. One is your A link, inside A you are creating an image. That's pretty much it actually. That's all you need to do. Now I have two test cases here, right? Let me execute this one. If everything goes well, I will be generating a HTML report with my logs. Along with that, it should attach the screenshot as well. Okay, so both the test cases executed. Now let's come back to my HTML report and refresh it. Now you can see it is printing. Before it was not printing first, but now it is printing because of this line of code which I said that, right? So let me go to the base test. Because of this set current test result, you can see, so it is a link which I attached. If you click on that link, it is giving you the screenshot. Now you see the screenshot is not generated for each test case because of this line of code. And what else is left? Yes, now let's look into the index.html as well. Now again, let me go to the reporter output. Now reporter output. You can see the log message, along with that it is giving you the screenshot as well. Now see, here I have taken only one test method, right? You can have 50 of the test cases, not a problem. They just need to do extend base test only. There are two ways people are creating the their framework, Selenium framework with the TestNG. Either they use the TestNG annotations here, like the before test, after test and all those things. Some people say that no, I want to make it differently. I will be using the TestNG listener, they will say. So either you can use the TestNG annotations or you can use the TestNG listener. Now I'm making it two ways. So whichever framework you are doing, don't do the way I'm doing. I'm giving all the possible ways, and depending on your existing framework, you can play with it. It's the same concept. Let me finish it quickly. So here we know about a test listener, right? Here we already learned from our previous session that this gives you a couple of test methods. Based on your result, actually it will be executing. In this sense, on test start, when it will be executing, just before executing your actual test case, right? So here I have written the logic of system.getProperty driver Chrome driver. This is very much similar to your before class or before method. Now the same thing here. Now you see here we have three test cases, right? Three test methods are there. If your test case is passing, this particular method will be executing. If your test case is failing, this will be executed. If your test is skipping, this will be executed. Now this is making me bit simplified way. So I always prefer to go with the TestNG listener only instead of these annotations. So here what I'm going to do, I won't be writing this if condition, right? Because see, now this TestNG listener on test failure is taking that if condition for me, because this particular method will be executed when only if your test case is failing. So inside this I can directly go and copy paste this logic actually. So I will be taking entirely this one, and and you don't need to, okay, let me just copy this one and then I will be showing you guys. So here I will do no if condition is required here, so I'm removing this one entirely. And now here let me just surround with a try catch block here, and then this two also I will be taking it inside this. That's it. And then it has to be another try catch block, it will ask me. That's it. You just need to do this much only. Reporter log will stay as it is, and let's see if there is any other errors. No errors. And you can just even, so what I'm going to do, I will be taking, and here what I will do, I will comment it. I don't want to use the system.out.println. Instead of that, I will say reporter.log, and here I will be saying as true. So this will print in my console and also into my HTML report as well. That's it. No other changes you need to do. The only thing that you need to do, because you are using the what you call test engine listener, don't use this one actually. This way you shouldn't be using. Instead of that, what you are going to use, this test engine listener, which is actually this one actually here. So you can listener this, actually this is a very basic concept, right? We have already seen how you can use the test listener. The one thing that I will show you here, you might get error, is that your driver object will throw you error actually, because test engine listener is a different what you call class, and your actual test case is a different class. We are not extending this particular test engine listener, right? So you cannot use the driver object. So for this we need to do a small change, which I'm not going to say at this moment. This is not scope of this. You can even use this driver object here, I mean into this test engine listener. You can create a third method actually, as a separate method, separate class, where you can send this driver as a getter and setter. Okay, now here you will set that driver object, and here you will be getting that driver object. I will be showing you that in our upcoming videos. If you are using test engine listener, hold yourself for a bit actually. I will be showing while designing the framework, because if I say now, it will be a lengthy video which might bore you guys. But yeah, this is the concept actually. So my way of saying is that either you use test engine listener or your test engine annotation, you can achieve reporter.log and sending the screenshot to your HTML reports. Okay, so that's kind of pretty much it for today. Hope this session is helpful. Stay tuned. From next session onwards, we will be looking into what are the different limitations of using individual test case level, and why do we need to design a framework, what are the best standards we are using for a framework. All those things we will be seeing. So stay tuned and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.